So I have completed day 1 at the hospital, which was just brilliant. I slept like a log last night, which was a bit odd because the windows are open. They've got mosquito nets outside and bars, but the windows don't close. And I thought, I'll just not sleep. But there isn't really any noise. There's cockerels, which you get all over the world at 6 o'clock in the morning. And at night you can hear the crickets. But there's no like traffic noise or anything. The convent is sort of set back and down from the main road, so you don't get any of the traffic sounds. So yeah, I slept like a log, and I had a banana sandwich for my breakfast, which was lovely. And in fact I had 2 bananas. I wonder if I'm going to go off bananas after eating bananas every day. And then I went to the hospital, and I got a tour of everywhere. The neonatal ICU, the antenatal clinics, physio, pharmacy, the accounts. They pay a fee, all the patients pay a fee for health services at the point of treatment. And there's like a big cash office, and they have staff on shifts to deal with the influx of money. It's a community hospital, so it doesn't deal with, they don't have like spinal injuries or ICU there. They don't have obstetrics. They seem to do some arranged sections. They have an operating theatre, but the guy in the cash said every morning they have to get like it's not a security corps, but a security and a van that takes all the cash away, and they do that weekdays, every single day. And the medical director, Dr. Berko, he's sort of my sponsor here, because you need someone to do like an invitation letter for you so that you can get your visa, and he is my sponsor. So it was really nice to meet him too. Yeah, I was all over the hospital. I got the tour by Michael, who's a psychiatric nurse, and he was talking about the mental health problems, both in this of psychotic illness, schizophrenia, mania, and also anxiety, depression. His role, they don't have a ward, it's just outpatient clinics that have at that hospital. So he was talking about patients he was due to see. They have some drug-induced problems as well, mostly cannabis use here. And he also has a health education role, so he personally, he wrote to all the local schools and asked to go in and speak to them, and he said some of them took him up, so he has been in to try and promote mental health awareness in mostly teenagers, and they have like middle school, they have like a junior school, middle school and a high school, so mostly the teenagers sort of over 12. And the midwifery, everything. My mum, before I started nursing, my mum said to me, you will always have a job because there will always be sick people. And she was absolutely right. And the problems they have here could be anywhere. Sister Marion, who is here at the convent, she deals mostly with patients with TB and HIV. She does contact tracing, and she starts them on treatment. And as happens everywhere with long-term conditions, you get problems with patient compliance. So I saw her in the morning, and then I didn't see her again until this evening, until we had food, and she just looked shattered. I mean, she just looked, such a busy day. She said this is a day that she deals with newly diagnosed patients, and it's such a busy clinic. The hospital itself it's not a big hospital. It's got 2 surgical wards, a surgical assessment as well, and a medical ward, 1 big operating theatre, and the rest is mostly outpatient clinics. They do have walk-ins for minor injuries, although they do seem to deal with quite a lot of road traffic collisions. Although you have to wear a helmet when you're on a motorbike here, it's mostly young men don't, so they have head trauma and orthopaedic injuries, and it's an orthopaedic hospital. That's mostly its speciality. So they've got physio as well, and rehab, and the bigger hospital deals with anything like prosthetics and spinal injuries. They've got an intensive care there. But at this hospital, they're very good at assessing what they can do and what they have the facilities and the staff skills. A lot of the clinics are nurse-led. They don't call it nurse-led care, but it is. They just say, oh, we don't have a doctor here, but they are autonomous practitioners. So yeah, and spending the day with Michael, because he's mental health, I think he's just got an overview of the sort of issues overall in the community locally. And then Lo took me to the nearest town, which I've forgotten the name of, Arong. And we went to the bank because they have an ATM there, because Jamasi doesn't have a bank or an ATM. So we went to the ATM because I have no cash, I can't buy anything. 15 cedi is the equivalent of £1. So when they say something is 150 cedi, I thought, God, that's an awful lot of money, because I got an extension cable for a socket in my room. But then I thought, it's only, it was, in terms of how much it is, it's hardly any cash at all. So they've got Wi-Fi at the hospital, which I spoke to the IT guy, Lawrence, and he said the best places are, up at the end of that corridor, near the accounts department and next to the reception. So, and he was right when it came to getting a reception. These were the best two areas. And when we were in the town, when I was in with Lo, there was a road traffic accident, but fortunately there was no injuries, because I thought I'm going to have to help you. It's that horrible, that horrible crunch of metal against metal and scraping. But the roads, it is wild. Everybody peeps all the time. Everybody's pulling out, pushing in front. It's and there aren't really any pavements. You just have to walk next to the sort of stalls and the shops, and then it's the road. So it's not great as a pedestrian. So yeah, and I ate cake for lunch, which is almost like a savoury pastry, and a sort of like a Madeira cake, which was like a meal on its own. And then this evening I have had papaya and a boiled egg, which was a bit of an unusual combination, but I was still sort of full up with cake. So yeah, I'm tired, and tomorrow I'm going to be shadowing Michael, the psychiatric nurse. He's got another busy day, so I'll spend the day with him sitting in. Most people speak English. Akan is the Ghana language, which doesn't sound like any language I know, and I've been trying to learn a few words which I've had to type out phonetically, because people seem to appreciate it when you say thank you or hello, or so yeah, it's the end of day one at the hospital, the beginning of something new.